Hey there. So I actually don't have an intro yet. I don't know how to start this. So I'm just gonna say, hey guys, I'm Ella and I'm a reader. If that wasn't made obvious by both my background and, my name, Ella reads things. So I didn't know what to do for my first video. I kind of wanted to do like a monthly wrap up of like what I've read, but I chose not to do that. And I'm not gonna do that this year because I'm gonna do like one big one at the end of the year in like January. I'm gonna do a yearly reading wrap up. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna be so real with you. I actually recorded like for so it actually just did it again, but I fixed it. Today I'm going to be talking about the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts because it is not at all what I expected. Honestly, I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. It wasn't what I got myself into. Here they are in all their tragic, heartbreaking glory. I love them. ASMR, anyone? The hair. Is this doing anything for you? Yeah, anyway, enough of that. I'm just gonna be yapping about it. So, if you haven't read these books, but you're planning to, shoo, go away, get out. Because you don't want to get spoiled, because you'll be spoiled and scarred. So please don't watch this if you haven't read them all yet. Bye-bye, get out. Anyway, yeah. I found out about the series like I assume most other people did through Bookstagram/Booktube, not Book Talk, because I don't have TikTok. I was terrified to start this. I was scared that I was gonna absolutely hate it. I didn't. In September, me and my family decided for vacation this year we were gonna go to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, instead of like a beach. And so I decided to start this on the plane there. And considering the fact that I hadn't been on a plane in a few years, that wasn't a smart idea because I was unable to fully focus on this book. I read maybe 15 to 20 pages on the plane. It did nothing for me. I remember immediately being like, ooh, cool, this kind of reminds me of Six of Crows, which is like one of my favorite fantasy novels ever. Because, our main character, Peyton, lives in the slums and is a really good thief. And that reminded me of, Kaz Brekker. And Inej, because of the dagger and the knife situation. Yeah. I was like,
I'm gonna read so much more at Disney. I'm gonna read so much after we get back from the parks. We have a whole day where we're supposed to just literally lay around in the hotel room. I'm gonna read all day long.
I read maybe 70 pages during that week. Maybe 70 at the most. And yeah, it didn't really do much for me. I completely gaslit myself into not liking this book for like the first 100 pages because I was like, this is the Hunger Games. This is the knockoff Hunger Games. This is the Hunger Games. And the Hunger Games, they're over there. It's literally one of my favorite series of all time. So I was like, it's literally just the Hunger Games. I didn't get over that fact for a while. And I also had seen bad reviews and like hatred towards this series right before I started reading it. So I was like, how good is it actually? And I was told that this was enemies to lovers. It's not enemies to lovers, guys. Hayden didn't like Kai there for a hot minute, but he never hated her. Especially not at the beginning of this book. He loved her. Not really enemies to lovers. I liked the forbidden love. I liked how, she's the very thing that he's been raised to kill his entire life. So that was interesting. I liked that for sure. I didn't really start liking this book until probably about 100-ish pages in. Probably a little over that. I finally started liking this book when Kai said the masterpiece of a line that is, if she is to be my enemy, I want it to be because she loathes herself for wanting me. I remember thinking at the time, oh, he kind of ate with that. And he did. He continues to spew poetry out of nowhere throughout this series. After that, I think I started to get hooked on the characters, the romance, the plot. I just started to really like it. I don't know, it just started to really pick up there for me. Not just because of that line, but, the context of what was happening during that. The ending had me in shambles. I recorded my reaction, and you can go watch that on my Bookstagram, or I think it should be on this channel by now. You can watch my reaction. I think it's quite funny. Personally, not to toot my own horn, but toot! I think the editing is pretty funny. Hi, I fear that this is going to hurt. I can only see him as future king or prince. Anyway. Whoa. Oh god.
spoilers.
My reaction to the end of this is public. You can go watch that. I was absolutely obsessed with this when I finished it. I regretted ever hating it. Next up, we got Powerful, which is the first novella in this series. Because technically it's a trilogy with 2 novellas. It's not, I don't think that counts as a series. I think it's still a trilogy, just 2 novellas in it. I had to wait a hot minute to read this actually because this booger came out a few weeks after I started Powerless, I'm pretty sure. This was like new, people were reading it, and I wanted to read it while it was new because the Percy Jackson books, I've been a fan since some have come out, but every time I've been either just reading something or just didn't buy it, and so I was like really late to reading it, and I started reading it like after everyone else had finished it and was over it by that point. So I wanted to read this while it was still new and all the fans were reading it. So that was kind of a mistake though, because it took me like 3 weeks to read this. That meant that I couldn't read this for 3 weeks. But it's okay because it was good. I liked it. But anyway, yeah, after that I gotta go to this. I was really excited to read this book because I felt that in the first one we just didn't get enough of Adina, which made her death to me less sad. I was more sad for Peyton than I was that Adina was dead. It just didn't hit. It just didn't hit me. Because I felt like I didn't know her very well, and sometimes it works that way. Sometimes it's a character you don't know at all, and their death like really hits. But this one, I just was like, I liked her a lot, but I'm honestly not like that heartbroken. And I'd also gotten spoiled, so I knew she was gonna die anyway. So when it happened, I wasn't that affected, honestly. This changed that. Ouch. Reading this really made me fall in love with Adina and her character, and that makes her death all the more sad. It was really sad, but also really it was really sad, but really enjoyable. My shoulder's so tense. Anyway, it was really sad watching Adina and Mac fall in love. I also enjoyed it a lot, but it was really sad watching them fall in love because I knew what the outcome was going to be. I knew that she was going to die. I knew that they were doomed. It wasn't gonna turn out great. But they're literally like one of the cutest couples in this entire series. Like they're right under Kai and Peyton for me. Like I love them so much. Mac Dina, is that their ship name or is it? I don't even know. The ending made me cry. It made me cry real hard. Ouch. I was really curious to see what Mac was going to do in the end, because of the whole see you in the sky thing. I was wondering if he was going to, like, himself so that he could be in the sky with her, or if he was going to change his mind and live for her. He chose the latter. And that was sad and happy at the same time. So, yeah, this book, literally, it's so good. I love it so much. I didn't expect to love a novella so much, but I really did. This is really, really good. Next up, we have my favorite, I freaking love this book, and you're gonna know because of how much I wrote down to talk about this book. Woo! It's so freaking good. I was told to prepare for it. I wasn't prepared at all for it. This one felt definitely more enemies to lovers than the first one because the whole dead dad thing was kind of a betrayal in a way, and so that made it definitely more so enemies to lovers. Although Kai still was in love with her, y'all. Like they still loved each other. It was just they were trying not to. They were pretending. Anyway, the roof kiss. That was delicious. I loved that. That's not at all how I thought their first kiss was gonna go. I don't care. I was so mad when we had that one part where it was the one bed trope, and then he slept on the freaking floor. Like what? I had to crash out a little bit. I was so upset. I thought she was at least gonna give us like an amazing nightmare scene like she did in the first book. Nope. We were robbed. I was so upset that happened. But it's okay. It's okay, guys. We got over it eventually. I didn't get over it. The jail scene where they're like tied together, like back to back. Yes. The sewer kiss, the whole sewer scene. Gorgeous. Them being shackled together by their ankles. Spicy. Well, not spicy because this is a clean YA romantasy. But you know what I mean. The tension. They had the one bed trope again and they did it right this time. They did it right. They played it out correctly on that one. That was great. I loved that scene after they got the horse and they were like trotting their way to the Sanctuary of Souls, or in the Sanctuary of Souls or whatever, and Kai fell asleep on her back, on Peyton's back. That was so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. The whole journey through the Sanctuary of Souls, it was so freaking good. I loved every single moment, especially the swimming in the rain scene. I want to swim in that fountain. That sounds literally amazing. I freaking love the part where the bandits like attack them and Kai gets like grazed by an arrow or whatever the freak happened, and Peyton just goes feral. I loved it. Especially because it's like, you know, she doesn't kill. She refuses. She doesn't like doing that. Has literal trauma and PTSD from it. Like, can't even look at blood at this point because of, you know, deaths and killing and all that stuff. So she like refuses to do it. But when someone hurts the love of her life, she's got her pitchfork raised. That was incredible. I love the touch her and you die trope as when it's the guy. I love it. But when it's the girl, when it's touch him and you die, it hits so different. And I loved it. I love how she had like no remorse in the moment. It was great. The scene where Kai cuts Peyton's hair, I wasn't expecting it at all. It's one of my favorite scenes. I think it's just so intimate. I love it so much. I didn't think that I could see Peyton with short hair, but no, yes I could. She's such a baddie. Oh my lord. The poppy field scene. Stop! The quote where it's like, I would stay in this field. I would like, what is it? I would make her flower crowns for the rest of my life if she would be my queen, not Ilya's, not Kit's, mine, or whatever it is. The mystery of not knowing what was going to happen to Peyton throughout this book was such a page turner for me. She's a criminal. She's committed a heinous crime. Killed the king. That's crazy. So I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if, you know, Kai was going to let her go before he got her back to Ilya, or if he was going to take her to Ilya, and then if that happened, I didn't know, you know, how she was going to die, or if she was going to die, or if she was going to be like tortured. I didn't know what Kit was going to decide. I didn't know what was going to happen. That was a real page turner. I was really curious about that. The ending? What? I was literally actively losing it. I wasn't okay at all after reading that. You want to be my bride? What? Get out! Sit back down on your throne. Shut up. Put that ring away. Nuh-uh. You going to be my bride? Stop! I had to immediately call one of my book besties and was like, what? Because she'd been telling me the whole time I was reading it, get ready for the end. You're not ready for the end. Just be prepared for the end. 100%. This is my favorite book in the series. This one. So, I fear I went through the 15 stages of grief reading this book. There's so much to say. How am I supposed to, like, shorten this into, like, a small few minute yap? This book was insane. To say the least. I will say something sad about this book was that going into it, I already knew that Kit was sick with the plague. I think I knew that when I started the series, because I got spoiled on the author's freaking Instagram. I saw the first like chapter of Fearful, and it's Kit's, and it's like, the plague burns down my throat. I was like, okay, so I don't know what that is, but I know that you're now sick, whoever you are. So I'd known for a while. And I also went in knowing that he freaking dies, because while I was reading Reckless, I saw a reel. It was one of those reels I was like, this is the height difference between these two characters. This one is yada yada yada. This one is 6 feet under. I also knew about Ava. I knew that she was dead, and I knew that she was Kai's sister, because I'd gotten spoiled about that a long time ago too. I knew going into this that Kit was going to die, and I knew that he was sick with the plague. There's so much that happened in this book. It was so much fun and torturous to watch, you know, Peyton and Kit have to be in love and, you know, get married and like all that, you know, fancy schmancy stuff, while Kai just had to watch. That was oof. I kind of loved it though. I loved it. Anyway, also, I was totally happy with Peyton becoming the queen. Like, she is a queen. Like, she has every, you know, I just completely brain farted. I'm gonna move on. I thought the fact that she had to go into her own trials was kind of really stupid. Like, I know that it didn't even have to happen. I know why it happened. But I thought it was so stupid. I was like, I feel like the fact that she survived the purging trials against multiple elites as an ordinary and completely like destroyed some of them and like didn't win but survived the whole thing.
Is that not proof enough for y'all that she is capable?
I know it was literally because they were trying to kill her. Like they weren't not expecting her to survive these trials. Like the point was to kill her, and she just didn't know. But you know, wow. Also, that scene where she's fighting Kai in the arena, I cried. I don't know. Like I knew deep down that it couldn't be real. There was no way that that was Kai. I figured out that it wasn't a dream, and that scared me a lot. I was still scared, even though I was like, "There's no way, right? He's got main character privilege." The scene right after. Back to Kit. I really thought that it was going to be like a bedridden situation. I thought that the plague was not going to do what it did. I thought that it was going to be kind of like what happened to Kai's mother, where she was like ill to the point of where she couldn't get out of bed. Too weak, too tired. You know what I'm saying? I thought that he was going to be like,
no, I gotta get up. I got kingly duties to do.
and everyone was going to be like,
Sit back down. Do not move.
Loki thought it was going to be a sick fix situation. Honestly, that's what I thought it was going to be. No, that's not what it was going to be. I thought that he was going to die peacefully on his bed, surrounded by family and friends, and he was going to go like peacefully in his sleep or something. Like I thought it was going to be like super bye-bye. Like I thought it was going to be super chill. No! He forgot to touch! Oh! This isn't funny! It's not funny. It's not a joke. Stop making jokes about it on Instagram. It's not funny. It had me sobbing. Sobbing. I have never cried harder over a book. I don't think there's been a single book that I've cried this hard over and this many times over. Like I cried multiple times throughout this book. I don't think that's normal. I'm forever a Kit defender. Represent. Come at me. I don't care. I can't defend what he did. I can't defend him. I can't, excuse what he did, but I can forgive him. It's okay, buddy. I don't blame you. Also, over Ava Azur's grave. Kai and Peyton, y'all are nasty. Also, the Azur family tree, it's not a tree. It's a small grove. Like, it's not one tree anymore. Finding out that Peyton and Kit are half siblings, that made their relationship throughout all the books just so weird. Whoa. Yeah, they didn't know. But now I know. And that's gross. The way that after Kai and Peyton got married, they danced like they do. It was so freaking cute. Kai and Peyton. I wished that we had seen more of Kai and Pei's daughter in the 5 years later section. I was so curious to know what her power was. Like, I wanted to know so much about this child, but we got nothing. We were wrong. Yeah, this book had me in shambles. And that brings us to the final book, Fearful. Okay, be prepared for what I'm about to say for this, because I'm either going to really upset people or people are really going to agree with me. This book, honestly, it did not intrigue me or hold my focus very well until those last, 2 chapters. That includes the epilogue. It just didn't do it for me. I found having Death as an actual character was both weird and kind of cool. And, her and Kit kind of falling in love was weird to me. I can see why, because clearly she had history with another, Azur King. It's the fact that she is Death herself that made it weird. So I was glad when Kit, shut her down and was like,
girl, you're Death herself. I cannot be with you.
I was like, yeah. Also, it focused so much on Blair and Lenny, and I adore Lenny, so I wasn't mad about that. But I didn't want anything that had to do with Blair. I was already mad that she survived in Fearless. I thought that Peyton killed her. I was quite literally quite upset when she didn't die. Peyton forgave her. That's cool. I can, be okay with that. But that doesn't mean I like her. That doesn't mean that I, therefore, do not hate her still. I didn't like how much it focused on her. It makes you see why she is the way she is, but I almost don't care because she killed Adina and I will never forgive her for that. It makes me a little bit sad for her, but I just don't like her very much. I know that you didn't choose to be this way, but you are this way and that makes you unlikable to me. Although I have to admit, Blair and Lenny are annoyingly adorable together. At the end, when they had a bakery together, that was so cute. They're a cute couple, but I like Lenny more than I like Blair. The last chapter and then the epilogue, that had me ill. What do you mean? I need more. Lauren, I have questions. First, I was like, okay, this Kit girly pop, what's her power? What's the deal with her? I need more answers. And then instead of this giving us answers, it just kind of made it more confusing. What do you mean she's Death's, biggest match? What does that mean? And are we gonna know ever? And also, like, I know people grow up, and in some books, when people grow up and get old, I'm like, oh,
How cute.
but sometimes I don't want to think of them as getting older, because I want to think of them as immortal. They're always this age. They will never ever grow up, therefore die. But the fact that Kit, like, you know, after he died, like, went in kind of like a ghost spirit form and like saw Kai and literally talked to him, that made me ill. And also, like, how many years had passed? How many years had passed between this epilogue and the 5 years later section in Fearless? Like, how much time has passed? Because it said that Kai had like graying hair, or like there was a tiny bit of gray in his hair, like a little tiny little bit. And men don't usually start having like gray hairs until they're what, like 40 something?
Bruh.
No, I'm not. I'm filming a video. My dad just accused me of talking to myself. I'm filming a video, guys. And it didn't give me any answers either, because Kit, you freaking just ignored what Mara told you to do and was just like, I'm just gonna talk to my brother instead of check on this girly pop. I wanted you to go check on her. I wanted to see what she was doing and what her power is and what's up. Woo! That was a fun yap session. So yeah, if it's not clear, this is like a 6-star series for me. I freaking love these books. And I plan on, I don't know when, but I plan on at some point listening to the audiobooks to reread. I want to experience Kai Hazard's voice actor for myself, because I've heard the clips, y'all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was mildly entertaining. Hopefully my editing makes me funnier than I actually am. If you want to see more videos like this where I just yap about series, let me know, because I will gladly do that. Please let me know in the comments what types of videos you want to see me do other than like reading wrap-ups and yapping videos, because I need ideas, because I've never done, you know, kind of book-related videos before. So please let me know anything that you want to see from me in the comments. You can go follow me on Instagram. I'm under the same handle, at bookishbrainblog/Ella Reads Things. You should subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so that you get notified whenever I post a yapping video, so that you can listen to me just obsess over stuff. Yeah,